Well, welcome to another Q&A. As you probably noticed, I'm inside my studio. I don't think I've ever done one in my studio, a Q&A. Anyway, as you probably know, Spain's in lockdown. I'm not allowed to go too far. I can only go out really to walk Bonnie, have about a 10-minute walk. And at the moment, the weather's been really pants. It's really cloudy and cold out there. Even in my basement here, I've still got my fleece on. So, if it's your first time on my Q&A, my name's Sean. I live in the southeast of Spain, the Costa Clara, the Murcia region. I live outside a town called Mazarron on a big urbanisation called Camposol, and I've been living here for just over 4 years. I would first of all want to say a big thank you for all the people that sent me money on my coffee funding. I just want to give them a shout out first. I want to thank Simon, Gregory, Other World Properties, Vinny, he knows he is, Robert, Anthony, Stefan, Haley and Martin. Most appreciate it. Especially this, what's going on at the moment. Big help. And for the guys that have bought the t-shirts, I've had a couple of people saying they can't get the extra large t-shirt. I'm sorry guys, they only obviously do 3 to 4 sizes. But yeah, but I most appreciate, unfortunately they don't tell me who's bought the t-shirts, but I most appreciate that. So let's get on with the Q&A. What I will mention straight away is, especially because you're listening on here for the Q&A, the information that I give is usually what I've gone through myself personally. Some of the other information is a bit difficult, but if you're from the UK, it's a good idea to check out the UK government site. I'll put a link below for you to check out that. That gives you the up-to-date information, especially now that the Brexit thing is kicked in now. We're going to want to know really what's going on with Brexit, especially now we got this virus thing as well. That's going to slow things up quite a bit to well into next year now. So things here are going to stay pretty the same. Also, another site that's worth checking out is the Citizens Advice Bureau Spain. Great site, it's a voluntary site, but some good information on there. It's always handy to try and join some of the local Facebook groups to an area that you're thinking about moving to, because they can give you more information, because it is so difficult here in Spain. You can buy all the books you like, you can search on the internet, but at the end of the day, if you don't come here or actually speak to somebody who lives in the area you want to move to, then you're not really to get the proper information. So let's get on with the first question, and it's by Haley. Number 1, Haley Angel Exity. She knows who she is. I would love to know if there are many taxi firms that you can call up and book a cab or public transport in and around Camposol, Mazarron and the port area. And what do you do at night when you don't want to drive? Good question. Obviously we're relating to Camposol. Now for unknown reasons I can't answer. There's no actually on-site taxi on Camposol. Now you can call a taxi up from Mazarron that will come in. I never caught a taxi myself, so I can't say what the prices would be, but from what I hear, it's not too bad. I did a check on one of the Facebook pages going back a couple of years. It cost him €20 going from D to the golf club, which ain't very far, but obviously if you've been drinking, then yeah, it's a big help. Now on Camposol itself, there is a Campo bus. It's like a little mini bus, and really it's more for the elderly people. I suppose you class me as elderly that hasn't got cars, getting from D over to the health centre here on A. Now just to think, how big is this place in Camposol? We're talking a 5 square mile radius of Camposol, so yeah, getting about is necessary getting a car. But if you haven't got a car for some reason, yeah, there is a Campo bus. It doesn't cost much. I have done a video about that, so check out that video as well. I will put a thing below, a link to give you a bit more information about it if you want to think about joining it. It's still going. Obviously, it's another voluntary thing, so I can't say will it be here next year. I don't know, but at the moment it's still running good. And what they tend to do is a bit like a pick-up point thing. It'll take you to the doctors. It'll take you to B or over to A, especially if you want to do a bit of shopping. So that's about the only thing. There is a bus service that pops in on Sector A a couple of times a day. Now, unfortunately, I don't know why it is, but there's no actually bus stop sign to give you any information on times and places where it would go. And I'm not really going to go into all where you can catch a bus to, because it does go on, but what I will say is that they do a coach that comes from Quillis that pops into the port and the Mazarron, and it goes into the country club, and then into Camposol, Condado, the Hessian, up to Culvera Airport, or Murcia International Airport, as it's supposed to be called, twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, which is pretty good. I don't know what it costs, but if you haven't got a car, especially if you're coming on holiday, obviously at the moment things are difficult because we got this clamp down, but when things get back to normal one day, that's handy to know. Now, transportation, say if you wanted to get to, say for instance, Alicante Airport, is a little bit difficult. The nearest train station that we've got to Camposol is about 10 miles away. It's in Toltana. It takes a long time getting from there because it's only a small train that goes up to Murcia and then on from Murcia to Alicante. Obviously you can catch a taxi, but you're talking a lot of money. Now, there is a Facebook share page where you can actually ask people if they're going up in the car, if they've got any spare seats. That's a good idea. It's a share scheme. That's always worth trying. But at the end of the day, Ailey, I think personally, you still need a car, but I know what you're getting at is because if you want to go out, enjoy yourself drinking, and you want to get back without getting, well, over the limit. So yeah, there are taxis, but unfortunately on Camposol itself, there's no permanent taxi site. It's only in Mazarron. So it's going to cost you a little bit extra. So hopefully that's answered your question. Right, number 2, I've got Mac knots. So this is a long one, so you're going to have to bear with me as I read this out. So I'm retired and wife retires this year with all the change going on with Brexit, etc. Guess it will be another couple of years before one can be confident with the legalities and residential aspects of moving to Spain. So we are going to keep our place in the UK and rent an apartment. This way we have a get out clause if things go pear-shaped. But still get out there before we are too old and decrepit. Have you any examples of friends that have done this and the pros and cons? Okay, now obviously if you've been watching my videos, we actually sold up total. The main reason why I sold up total was because we still had a mortgage and wanted to pay the mortgage off. So we took, yeah, it is a risk. We took the risk, sold our own property, moved over here, rented and bought a place that we own. But I know of people that have got rented, well, they've got places back in the UK. There's a couple of people do that. One of my friends called Jackie, she does that. Her and her boyfriend have got properties each. In a sense, that's their income that they earn from the UK. So, I mean, that's a good idea because they rent out the properties while they're here living in Spain. And then they've also got properties here in Spain. God, they are rich. I know of other people that's got property back in the UK, which they don't rent out. They come out to Spain for whatever time they're allowed to stay out in Spain for, then go back to the UK. A lot of people seem to come out in the winter months in Spain because they think it's too hot in the summer, and then they go back to the UK in the summer and then come vice versa. So I suppose what I'm saying is there pros and cons on that. Now I know somebody else who's got a property back in the UK and they've had never-ending problems with obviously people that's been renting out the property, not trashing it, but causing problems. You know, the boiler needs fixing, so it's added expenses. The agency that they use has not been very helpful, and if anything, it's been a bit of a nightmare for them, and they decided that now they're going to sell it because it's just costing them. So I mean, it is a hard thing. To be honest, it's something that we thought about at the time, that we thought maybe we could rent out our place that we obviously part owned in the UK. And I think what put me off really was if it was a problem, and especially because we didn't actually own the property anyway, I just thought, no, we just sell it. We just don't want the hassle. So something, yet again, it's something that you would have to decide really if that's what you want to do. But yeah, if you can afford it, yeah, a good idea, especially at the moment. If things did go pear-shaped, because especially after the Brexit, we don't know really what's going to happen here. There's no point in saying nothing's going to happen. My folks came out to Spain well before the EU thing, back in the 60s, 70s, and all they needed was a visa, and that was no problem. But we can't say that's not going to be the same now, especially now with the this virus thing, because it's obviously going to cause huge problems later on, no doubt, in the economy. So thanks for that, Mac. Oh, that's giving you some idea. But so there are people that do that, and yeah, they're quite happy with it. So something to think about, isn't it? Number 3. Okay. Now, every now and again, I do get questions that either I delete or I think, okay. So this question is the standard of living higher in Spain or the UK? Poverty. So what I'm going to say to that is, because the name is obviously a fictitious name anyway. I don't do politic questions, you know. So as far as I'm concerned, Spain and the UK are just the same. You know, the people are lovely here just as much as the people are lovely back in the UK. And the standard of living to me is no different wherever you go around the world, to be honest. So yeah, I'm moving on from that question. Number 4. Oh, got another one from Hayley, Angel Zack City. Just rewatched this video. Welcome to Camposol. And notice that you mentioned post and deliveries of small packages to your door. Could you explain how this works in Spain, please? How come they don't deliver to your door? Do you have to pay for a post box in the porter cabin? Okay, good question that, Hayley. Because one of the things you will notice here in Spain, wherever you're going to go, especially if you've gone on urbanisation, some of them, and even some of the golf resorts, you will find that all the post boxes are in one area. You can have your own post box, but most places have the post boxes in one area. Now on Camposol, if you're on B, C and D, you have to pay for your post box. Now you can either have it in the Spanish post office, which we got on Camposol, Best Wishes, and I believe there's another place as well. I can't think of it at the moment, but you have to pay a fee. I can't remember what the fee is. Now on A, luckily, we got a porter cabin, as you mentioned, and that's free. So when you buy the property will come with the key for your letterbox. So you have your own allocated letterbox in the porter cabin. Now that's locked up every day, I think about 5 o'clock, and reopened again about 9 o'clock in the morning. So you've got access to it. And it doesn't cost you nothing. So something to think about if you're buying on the other sectors. You have to bear in mind, it's not a lot of money, but you have to bear in mind that you might have to pay for your post box. Now, if you're getting deliveries by Amazon, and I get stuff by Vistaprint, stuff like that, it will come to your door. You just give them your address. Now I think with with Amazon, there's a company called Sir. Now we know the guy. The deliveries are a bit hit and miss. Most times they're very good. Now the guy that we got, he just pops it over the fence, literally. But yeah, very good. I mean, usually you have to sign for it. Yeah, so they will come to your door. We usually get I usually get an email to say in 2 or 3 days' time that they'll be making a delivery on that day. Now the delivery times can be late. They usually do stipulate that they'll be coming between 9 o'clock and about 8 o'clock at night, and usually it's the 8 o'clock at night thing, that's when he turns up for me. So they do actually deliver to your door, and big packages. Now with the post box, obviously you're trying to think, hang on a minute, so the post box, if there's a big package, what tends to happen is they put a slip in your post box in the porter cabin, or if you're on, I just mentioned about Best Wishes or the Spanish post office, they put a slip in there, so you will have to go to the Spanish post office with your resident card or your passport as some sort of ID to get your package. So it's not as bad as it feels. And what I love about this is when I was back in the UK, and you guys that are living there, you probably know what it's like. You're always inundated with crap mail. Don't get out here. They might try and put it in your gate, but they don't put it in your letterbox. And if they do, we've got a big bin and it all goes in there. So that's one thing I do not miss, is the crap mail. Yeah, so that's answered the question, Hayley. Number 5, Macnots. I'm a big internet user. I do a bit of online consulting, and my good lady loves the Freesat TV. How easy it's to maintain the supply of these services in Spain, and I have looked online, and it's very confusing, too much conflicting information. Now I did a check a while back about the internet in Spain, because it is quite important, obviously, to keep in contact with, especially folks, my kids and that, back in the UK and around the world. And to be quite honest, it's a very good service. Obviously, from what I picked up on since I've been out here, Spain seems to have a better system than what the UK does. So I did go online, because that's going technical. So we got here, especially on Camposol. I'll just tell you what's on Camposol at the moment. So what I use normal basic Wi-Fi. I'm not going to go into the speeds and all that. And it's Camposol. If you mention my name, I'll get a discount. But anyway, now obviously for fast broadband, there are a few as well, and most properties here now have already connected up with fast broadband. We're not, but most places you are. So if you are thinking about buying a property, always ask your estate agent. So we've got Telecable, Teletech, WiMAX. These are all fibre optic. Now, I can't say what they're like because I don't use it myself. So you have got a choice to use those cool things especially for fast broadband. Movie Star's apparently the biggest provider in Spain, and I've got 3G and 4G. I don't understand all that. I'm quite happy with. Apparently, we got Wi-Fi. It's supposed to be the fastest about. I do admit, in the summertime when we got a lot of holiday makers here and they're all watching the telly in the evening, especially on the weekend, it does get slow and it starts to buffer. Now you mentioned Freesat. Now with Freesat, we got a satellite on the roof. Something else to think about if you're buying a property. If it's got a big satellite dish, great. If it's got a small satellite dish, then they're not really no good. So you need a big satellite dish. Now we get Freesat, so we can get all the UK channels, channels around the world. Now at the moment, for some reason, we got a big storm that we've had for a couple of days, and we can't pick up anything on the satellite anyway from the UK for some reason. I don't know what that's all about, but that does happen. Obviously, when it's really stormy, you don't. Yeah, and you got no TV license to worry about, things like that. And obviously, with the internet, we got Netflix, Yeah, to be honest, you know, you ain't got to worry about a telly. You can do so many things here in Spain, no different to the UK. You can do that playback thing as well if you want to. Like I said, I'm no technical person, but on our roof, we got like a box on the roof, and it sends out a signal. I think back in the UK, ours coming through the telephone cable line, but here you got a box on the roof, and it just Wi-Fi's it in. Yep, no probs. You wouldn't believe it, but on the very last question that I was about to do, my camera packed up. I didn't check the power. So I was talking away, not realising that the camera had gone off and I wasn't recording. So I'm doing this again. So my very last question, which is number 6, is by Kelly Osborne. And it says, talk about increasing amounts of bank charges, i.e. monthly bank charges and direct debit charges. Is this normal? Good question, that, Kelly. One I can't really answer, really. I'm with CaixaBank, which is on Camposol. I'm with what you call the old fuddies. I like actually speaking to somebody behind the counter, and obviously being so close as well. If I have got a problem, I can just walk across the bridge and hopefully get it sorted. So I don't know if Casa is one of the best in Spain. It's probably not one of the most cheapest, no doubt. Obviously, I'm not too bothered about that. I just wanted somebody that I can just pop into and chat. I don't want to go all the way down to the town or go to Murcia or whatever. I still do online banking. Yeah, I do most of my stuff online anyway. I've got an app on my phone, so I can always check what my account is. But I'd still like the idea I can just pop in the bank and have a chat with somebody. The guy that's there speaks 3 or 4 different languages. Fantastic guy. I can't remember his name because I want to give him a shout out. But yeah, I always go in there and we get things sorted. But I know what you mean, Kelly, because I was chatting to a guy the other day about banks, and he said, yeah. And funny enough, he's with my bank, Casa, and he said his charges went up suddenly. And I said, oh, right, that's strange. And I asked what account he's got. Now, my account's called Living Solutions account. And when I first opened up our bank account in Spain, they give you so much information, you don't really pay attention to what the account name is. And after a couple of months, we started noticing that somebody was taking money out called Living Solutions. So I talked to the bank guy and he said, yeah, that's your account, Sean. That's what it's called. So anyway, just to put you clear on that. So I pay my bank charges every 3 months, and it's $20.47 for the both of us, which to me, you know, it's not a bad price really for what we get. Okay, for what the service you get is obviously every time you use the ATM machine, when you're withdrawing money from using your card or whatever else, there's a charge to it. Whereas in the UK, we don't do that, do we? Now I still got my UK account. Now, I only put enough money in my Spanish account each month, and I keep most of my money in my UK account. That's my preference, nobody else's. Why the increase? I don't know, but I know over the past year or so, Santander, for some reason, put up their charges. I think another one's Banker. As far as I know, ours hasn't gone up, but when we was chatting, like he said, his price had gone up, and I said, "What account you got?" He said something different, and I said, "Oh right, and you got Living Solutions account." And he said, funny enough, when we was chatting to the bank guy, we put our name into the new account, Living Solutions, and it dropped back down. So maybe what it is, Kelly, maybe it's worth just popping in the bank and having a chat with them. I mean, our banks, I'm not trying to sell our bank, but our bank's really helpful. I would go in there, like I said, it always says, hello, Mr. Matthews. Or if I go in to see the bank manageress, she's ever so polite as well. And like most banks, in it, really, at the end of the day, they don't want to lose your custom. Because if you feel that you're being ripped off or whatever else, you just look elsewhere. Direct debits, bit of a minefield here in Spain. We got a funeral payment we pay every month. We got the water, we got electric. Now, I would say that they're the main direct debits that we use. But other than that, I've heard of quite a few people that had a Vodafone accounts. Trying to cancel them is a nightmare. And I know they're right because we had a DKV health insurance account. DKV, fantastic company, can't fault them there. But when we come down to cancelling the account, it was a nightmare. Thankfully, when we did everything properly. We had to send an email, and they sent us an email back to say that we've been cancelled. But for some reason, their head office didn't think we did, and we started getting letters after a couple of months. And after 6 months, it was on the verge of us taking the court. So I just kept on. I mean, you had to keep phoning because unfortunately with TKV you couldn't go down to the health centre because it had nothing to do with it. It's to do with a head office issue, and the head office issue was a nightmare as well because I keep getting different phone numbers to phone. I phoned them up. Yeah, we'll get back to you. Never did, and then I'll get another letter. Anyway, eventually they agreed that they was in the wrong, and it was done. But I mean, if I don't know, given in and paid the money for some reason, that wouldn't have solved it. But yeah, it's for some reason here in Spain, they do things differently here in Spain. Sometimes it's a little bit slower. They have a different way of dealing with things. So you sort of got to go with it. But what I would suggest, Kelly, is that you actually go in, I don't know if you have, to go in and see the bank manager and ask them why is it jumped up. Maybe there's another account that you could do that's cheaper, because the last thing they want is to lose your custom, no doubt, because we're quite liable to go off to use another bank. So hopefully, Kelly, that's answered some of it. But yeah, I would go and have a chat with them and try and get your costs down. Anyway, that's all the questions done. Now, I did say it right at the beginning of the video that something's going to be different for next month. What I'm going to do for April is I'm going to go live. I'm going to do a Q&A live show in the evening. I did a poll on my YouTube channel a couple of weeks ago asking what's the best day and time to do one. And it seemed to be during the week, and I give times of 9 to 10 p.m, which is Spanish time. So from the 16th of April, so that again, from 9 to 10 p.m. Spanish time, so it would be 8 to 9 UK time. I'll be doing an hour's Q&A. So please, guys, don't put any questions in now. If you can wait until the actual live show, and I'll do it on the live show, and we'll go from there. If it works, great. I'll do it every month. If it doesn't work, then I'll go back to how we're doing it now. So, as I always say, you've got to keep watching, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. And let's get this coronavirus out of the way. It's going to be a while yet, I know. But anyway, as I always say, keep watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Oh, and don't forget, I'll see you on the live show on the 16th of April, 9 p.m. Spanish time.